Hello, and welcome back to my channel. We are on week 4 of Dancing with the Stars recaps.
Which was kind of most memorable, or also like dedication week. I think they'll still do most memorable year at some point.
Yeah.
But this was a weird like dedication week.
Lots of dedications. We're here with Kayla from StyledByKaylaXO. Yeah, so this is, it is Monday night at 7:30.
We are, just sitting down to get ready.
About to watch week 5 of Dancing with the Stars.
80s night on my channel, and I am going to even sort of dress up because it's my channel.
I will wear a side pony, that's fine. All right, so why don't we just get right into it? The beginning was very
It was like a
weird.
PSA.
It was like a PSA with all of the cast members.
All the
and like they entitled it at the end, "Celebrities Who Don't Like Criticism." It was very,
it was like on judges' comments. Tyra came out in sparkly pink prettiness, and they kind of started to sense like it was like a dedications theme from the top. So we started with Loves of My Life, Nelly and Daniela, with a Paso Doble to All I Do Is Win by DJ Khaled. Yes.
It was a really strong start to the dance. I felt like it was awesome. All I had to say was, damn, Daniela.
Yeah, in my notes, Pasha is a lucky man.
Yeah. She looked awesome. She is an amazing choreographer.
For sure. This was like a hip hop paso. So it had a lot of the paso technique in it, but it also had some hip hop elements. So it seemed like Nelly was a lot more comfortable. Now, was it technically perfect? No, but he was focused and he was enjoying it. And so, there's definitely room to grow there.
Yes, the judges said that Nelly delivered the breakout that they were asking for. However, they just said now he needs some like little refining to happen.
Yes.
They got a 21 out of 30.
And then we had a foxtrot from Chrishell and Gleb to Adore You by Harry Styles. Like there's some good music on this night.
Chrishell's package was very emotional. She was talking about her future of having kids and the steps that she's taking right now to freeze her eggs and all that kind of stuff. So we didn't actually get to see dancing in their package.
No.
It was just
There was
talking.
a couple like that.
There were a few, yeah. We'll get to more later, but yeah, so.
It was a very sexy foxtrot, to which I wrote, does Gleb know how to dance in a non-sexy way?
He does not. Granted, it was very beautiful, great frame. I think that's the best frame that Chrishell's had so far.
Yeah. Derek said it was her best dance, and they got a 22 out of 30 with a high score from Derek.
Yes, and next up was Monica and Val, and they did a samba to Party in the USA.
They kind of had this conversation where I guess Monica's not used to not being the coach, and so Val's been kind of hard on her, and so they had to have like a come to Jesus talk about like, Val, you need to be nicer to me. And Val was like, oh, okay. And so there was that. It was a really fun dance. There's lots of party effects.
Lots of tricks.
Yeah, lots of tricks. They changed the lyrics Party in the USA, so it's because the lyrics are usually Jay-Z and Britney song. They changed it to Nelly and Backstreet. So call outs to Nelly and AJ. And I think it was her best dance yet.
I think so. The judges said that the chemistry was much better. I think that is accredited to the talk they had.
Yeah.
And that it had a lot of samba elements.
It was a very true samba, 24 out of 30.
Those were Monica's first 8s.
Yes. Then we had Ann and Keo, who did a Paso Doble to Rise by Katy Perry, another great Paso song.
Yeah.
I loved that. Ann started with the solo and was wearing this awesome, so she came out in the jumpsuit, looked like it was black, and then Keo comes out and like flips it over her shoulder and she like blasts her arm out and it's rainbow sequins. So cool.
Her package, she was talking about when she was dating Ellen back in the 90s.
Yes.
And all the stuff that happened with her career because of the repercussions of that. So I think that was another one we didn't really see any dance in the package.
Yeah. It was a little bit wobbly, but her confidence was definitely there. I love Keo and Ann. I think they're just like a great partnership.
I do think that was Ann's best dance though.
Yeah, oh for sure. And they got a 21 out of 30. Then they announced that this week that we're about to watch is 80s night, and I'm so psyched. I've seen all the outfits pop up. Oh, I'm so happy.
Danielle's hair, oh gosh. Okay.
Oh god, okay.
Next was Neve and Jenna, and they did a rumba to, all I wrote was Celine Dion. What song was it?
I don't remember.
Celine Dion.
I really don't remember what Celine Dion song it was.
I don't either, but it was very cute. He dedicated it to his wife, Laura. It was a beautiful dance.
Bruno called it a romantic dream set to music. And it was a 24 out of 30 for Neve and Jenna.
And then they announced the leaderboard, and tied for the top was Monica and Neve, followed by Chrishell, and then at the bottom were Nelly and Ann.
Yes. Then it was some of our favorites, Justina and Sasha. They had a salsa. We had another Len appearance. There was an oh god lift in that I was like, oh, here we go. It was so good. I thought it was the best dance of the night at that point, and I still think it was one of the best of the entire night.
I wrote the tongue. Do we know what that means?
I think that was just part of Justina's facial expressions.
Okay, yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, she like stuck her tongue out when she was like doing something. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was awesome, great dance. They got a 24 out of 30.
And I loved Sasha's reaction as those 8s came up. He was like so hyped up. I love Sasha, it was great. Then love of my life, Caitlin and Artem did a Viennese waltz to Beautiful Crazy by Luke Combs.
Yes, she dedicated it to her boyfriend, Jason.
I just wrote that it was so beautiful, so graceful. Get Artem his mirror ball.
Yeah, I just said it was gorgeous, really lovely. They got a 25 out of 30, the first 9 of the season, and they were high scored by Carrie Ann. Next up was Johnny and Britt, probably one of my favorite dances of the night.
Yeah.
They did a jive to Crocodile Rock, and they dedicated it to Johnny's mom, who loves Elton John. At first, he was like, we're dedicated to my biggest fan, and I was like, does Elton John like Johnny Weir?
Probably.
His mom was his biggest fan, and his mom was Elton John. But anyways,
they had some awesome suits on.
Oh my god, these green sequin suits, loved it.
Perfect for Crocodile.
My favorite thing was the beginning of the dance. He turned around and on the he did like a little booty shake. Best thing in the world.
It was super sharp. I loved it. 24 out of 30.
Yes.
Jeannie and Brandon were up next. They did a tango to 7 Nation Army. And was this the week where we found out about Jeannie's mom's betting pool?
Yes, her mom started a betting pool and she bet against Jeannie.
So Jeannie is here like, there's a bunch, you know, a bunch of Vietnamese people around the country who are rooting for me, and then my mom who's rooting against me.
She started a betting pool. There's, I don't remember how much money she said there's in it, but there's a lot of money already in it.
I think it was like 14 grand.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Like her mom.
And she asked her mom which way she voted, and she said she was voting against Jeannie.
And it was just like intense and sexy and powerful.
Oh my god, she had an awesome like drop at the beginning. Oh, amazing.
Yeah, like Brandon down on his knees. I was like, yes. It was a 21 out of 30 for Jeannie and Brandon.
And then after that, they showed us the leaderboard again.
And it was Caitlin followed by a 4-way tie
of Monica, Neve, Justina, and Johnny.
Yes.
Next up was Vernon and Peta, and they did a rumba to Let's Stay Together. It was dedicated to his grandmother who raised him.
Yes.
Lots of tears. It was really emotional. I thought it was very sweet. The very beginning of it, there was like a really intense walk towards each other.
Yeah, and he was like feeling himself.
It was great.
Really good. He was a little hunched over, but he's definitely improving every week.
And his hips were really great this week.
They got a 22 with a high score from Carrie Ann. Then Tyra changed and her second dress was awful. So we're gonna move past it. Up next with Jessie and Sharna with a cha-cha to Smooth by Santana. Ooh, so good.
Sharna
is the love of my life. I have a lot of loves of my life.
So hot.
There's so much love.
Anyways, this dance was better than last week's. It was really good. And the judges said they wanted to see an easiness to him.
Yeah. He's definitely trying really hard. They got a little sexy. I think he has more to give.
Yeah.
21 out of 30 for Jessie and Sharna.
Next up was my favorite dance of the night, was Sky and Alan, and they did a Foxtrot to Ordinary People by John Legend, and it was, sorry, it was dedicated to Cameron Boyce. I have a tickle in my throat. I'm not crying.
And it's not COVID either.
And it's not COVID either. I just have a tickle. Anyways.
How are we related and say either and either differently?
What do you say?
I said either.
I said either? Oh,
or vice versa.
I don't know what we said. Either way. I just said either.
And then I said either. Yeah, it's fine.
Anyways, it was a lovely package. She was talking with Alan about her relationship with Kamryn. Yeah. And it was just a beautiful dance.
It was beautiful. It did get the first 10 of the season. I was saying that night, I was like, I don't think, had everyone not been so emotional, that would have been a first 10 in a normal season. It was beautiful. It definitely deserved all 9s. I think if Carrie Ann hadn't gotten so emotional, I don't think there would have been a 10 for that dance. It was a beautiful dance, but in week 4, I don't think it was like needed to be a 10 yet.
It probably could have been 9s.
Yeah, but Carrie Ann was sobbing.
But granted, it was good enough to be 9s.
Right, it was a beautiful dance for sure, but yeah. And so 28 out of 30, Carrie Ann gave the 10.
Last up was AJ and Cheryl.
And the rest of the Backstreet Boys.
I was getting there. They did a cha-cha to Larger Than Life. and they had virtual Backstreet Boys behind them. Every time, I just have to bring up his suit in that intro. I just love it. Anyways, it was a great cha-cha, really cool. The boys did some dancing behind them.
Yeah, they said it wasn't a ton of cha-cha, it was a lot more, you know, like boy bandish, but there was definitely some cha-cha elements that went really well.
And AJ had a little solo, and then the boys joined in, which was really cool. And it was a 24 out of 30.
So then the final leaderboard was Sky, followed by Caitlyn, and then just a ton of 24s.
Yes.
And the safe order was Sky,
Johnny,
Jeannie,
AJ,
Caitlyn,
Jesse,
Monica,
Neve.
but we'll get there.
We'll get there.
Justina,
Nelly.
and then there was like a big wait a second.
There were 3 people left, and Tyra said, and your bottom 2 are, but Chriselle, Vernon, and Ann were all out there. And she was like, wait a minute.
So the producers gave her the wrong cards, and they were near saying, wait, this is wrong. So really the bottom 2 were Ann and Monica. So Chriselle and who else was left? Vernon
left the stage. Monica and Val came back.
And so it was like really rushed ending. It was a hot mess, hot fire mess. And all of them voted to save Monica.
Yes, and now our top 3s. Mine are Sky, Neve, and Johnny.
Mine have not changed from last week. They are still Caitlyn, Neve, and Johnny.
Thank you for watching this very abbreviated Dancing with the Stars recap.
Because we are running out of time and the camera's dying.
So, we will see you next week.
On
by
my
next
channel.
week in a couple days on Kayla's channel.
80s night!
80s night. We're gonna go watch that in like 20 minutes.
And we'll talk to y'all later.
And make sure to subscribe, like, and comment. We'll see you later.